Today, we're diving into a powerful short film that, well, it holds a mirror up to modern parenting and our relationship with screens. It tells a story that might just hit a little too close to home for a lot of us, and it all centers on that tiny screen that holds so much power in our lives and, of course, in the lives of our kids.
Okay, let's just jump right into the heart of it with this one line. It comes from a child spoken to her mother, and this sentence. Wow. It's not just a comeback, it's an observation, it's an accusation, and it is a real gut punch that sets the stage for everything that's about to unfold.
So the story kicks off with a scene that, let's be honest, probably feels way too familiar for a lot of parents out there. It's that daily battle over the smartphone, a conflict that I'm guessing plays out in homes all over the world. And you can see the whole cycle play out, right? The mother, Mamta, she tries to set a limit, her daughter, Somya, pushes back, and she immediately points out what she sees as hypocrisy. The whole thing gets louder, there are tears, and then a work call comes in. And in that moment, just for a little bit of peace and quiet, the phone gets handed back. You know, it's that classic short-term fix that you just know is creating a long-term problem. And this is where things get really interesting. The film then introduces us to a totally different family, one with a very, very different relationship with technology. It's a stark contrast that really forces us to look at the kind of environment we're creating in our own homes. I mean, look at this side by side. It's so stark, right? On one hand, every conversation is a fight for the phone. I want my cartoon, give me the phone. But on the other side, it's all about the excitement of reading a book together. The other little boy, Shiva, even makes this amazing comment, basically saying, hey, if other people want to be on their phones, that's fine. We can read. So, what happens when these two different worlds collide? Well, it all comes to a head during a visit that just completely spirals out of control. This is where that private daily struggle suddenly becomes a very public crisis. So Mamta and her daughter, Samya, they go over to visit this other family. But that fight over the phone? Yeah, it comes right along with them. What's supposed to be a friendly visit is just simmering with this underlying tension about the phone. And when Somya is offered, actual toys instead of a screen, she just loses it. She doesn't know what to do without that digital pacifier, and her frustration completely boils over into this massive tantrum, right there in front of everyone. And it just keeps getting worse. In her anger, she grabs the other child's toy and just throws it on the floor. And bam, that's it. It turns into this really awkward public showdown between the two moms. And you can just feel Mamta getting defensive and feeling totally judged. But wait, it's not over. Just when you think it can't get any more tense, as they're about to leave, the host family realizes their phone is missing. The panic sets in, and now there's this layer of suspicion on top of an already awful situation. So after this frantic search, they decide to call the missing phone. And you can probably guess where it starts ringing. Yup, right from where Somya is hiding. She'd secretly taken it. This is the absolute breaking point, a moment of just profound shame for her mother. This is that rock-bottom moment of shame, and it forces Mamta to finally ask a really tough question, a question that leads us straight to the film's most important lesson about how our kids really learn from us. She's just completely distraught, and she turns to the other mother, Josie, and basically asks, "What am I doing wrong? How is your son so well-behaved, so into books?" She's finally ready to look beyond just managing her daughter's behavior and start looking at the real source of the problem. And Jyoti's answer? Wow. It just nails the core message of this whole story. She explains that kids are always watching. They might not always listen to what we say, but they are absolutely absorbing what we do. Our actions, our habits, they're like little mirrors reflecting everything they see day in and day out. So here's the real takeaway, right? Kids soak up the habits they see around them. When we hand them a phone just to get some peace, we're teaching them that a screen is the answer to being bored or upset. Jyoti reminds Momti that a parent's own habits, whether it's constantly being on a phone or sitting down with a book, that's what creates the culture of the home. And sometimes saying no is actually the most loving thing you can do. And hearing this, it's a total game changer for Mamta. It's this huge turning point where she realizes that changing her child's behavior doesn't start with her child. It starts with her. What I love is that the film doesn't just leave us there. It gives us this really clear, actionable path forward. And it's not about punishment, right? It's all about reconnecting. It starts with the parent taking a hard look in the mirror, taking accountability, and then giving their child a genuine apology. And then you have to model the new behavior you want to see.
And that lesson in empathy just keeps going. We get this amazing scene where the little boy, Shiva, explains to Soumya what an apology really is. He tells her it's not just about saying the words "I'm sorry," it's about understanding who you actually hurt. And he points out that in this case, it wasn't him she hurt, it was her own mom. And the film leaves us with this incredibly powerful question, but it's not just for the characters, it's for us. It challenges every one of us to think not just about our kids' habits, but about what they see when they look at us. It's a question about what we're teaching them, especially in those moments when we don't even realize we're the teacher.